Hello and welcome to the PDGA Tim Selinske U.S. Masters Disc Golf Championships, presented by Innova. This is a PDGA Major. We are here in Eugene, Oregon, playing at Dexter Disc Golf Course. My name is Holly Finley.
And I'm Jennifer Allen. Started off the week at Circle Bar, myself leading at 6 under, Ohn 5, Sarah Hokom 4 under, and Kristy Lee joining us from Canada at even. But now we're headed into the woods at Dexter, just up the road, about 30 minutes.
You can see our top 10 leaderboard. And here we are, hole 1, starting off with this wide open par 3, 485 feet. There's not a lot of trouble here, so you've got room to air it out and really send it as far as you can off the tee. Don't go long though on your upshot. You do have the out of bounds lake behind. This is a very easy hole to start the round off. However, it can get quite windy on this green.
Starting things off from Gilbert, Arizona, Jennifer Allen.
Dodging the caddies and trying to get up there. But yeah, this is a super fun first hole, I think. Just throw it as hard as possible. So literally, that was my goal. Just try to get it down there. I thought that would flip just a little bit more and glide all the way for me, but hyzer's out. Almost really no danger on this hole unless you can throw it about 500 feet. So.
Ohn Scoggins.
They usually mess up the first name, not the last, but. Oh, just giving that destroyer everything it has. Get a little bit of a skip.
That's one thing I've noticed out here at these courses. You don't get a lot of ground play on this grass. They've left it kind of long.
Well, I think a super wet winter for a lot of the areas up on the west coast in the mountains. So, but I could see in the summer this drying out and getting some huge skips. Sarah gets about everything out of this as well. Huge flex, just great opening drive.
I love the course decor. Everything's set up. It looks so nice. And I've never seen Kristy Lee play before, so this is going to be a treat.
Yeah, I played with Kristy, I think in 2019 at the Las Vegas Challenge, my very first Masters event. Just a pleasure to play with. Just super nice, down to earth, great golfer. Just doesn't get that big competition practice like the rest of us do.
And this is Kristy's second shot, looking to get it as close as possible.
And I kind of hated that for her, not the shot, but she was so nervous because just, she didn't, she's asking for our autographs after the round. Like, she's a huge fan, loves the game, but she's a very talented golfer as well. With a good approach, gets a little bit of a roll.
Kristy and Ohn with about 20 feet to make par here on the first hole.
Such a touchy distance for Hokom. She's such a strong forehand player, so that went just a hair long. I think it was in her range, kind of like me, that I have trouble with a soft backhand.
Hokom left a bit of meat on the bone here on this putt on the first. Luckily, the wind died, but looks like it picked up again.
Picked up, strong headwind right when she putts, and wait and see when she gets to the next one. It somehow becomes a strong headwind the other direction. So just getting a little bit of a challenge with the wind on the first hole. Kristy, unfortunately, like I said, I think just a little bit of nerves coming out with us and cameras. She doesn't get to play with the cameras around too much.
Ohn sneaks that first putt in there, right over the nubs.
Yeah, Sarah's like, wait a second, I just had a headwind putt.
Hokom looking to save bogey here on the first hole. There it is. Headwind in every direction.
You literally could just read it off her face. It was like, what is going on?
What a view. Look at that.
Right? I literally was telling that to Kristy. I'm like, just taking it all in. It was so gorgeous. Got to watch, a few skiers today out on the lake.
I'm a huge Bob Ross fan. I grew up with him in my childhood, and this is just a classic Bob Ross painting with the layers of the mountains and the water features.
Yeah, very blessed this week out here. Here we are, hole number 2. This is a 235-foot par 3. You're going to see kind of a brighter green tree, bush, whatever it is, right up here at the end of this sidewalk, right there. That's where things open up and you can kind of sneak one in. To me, I find my mistake is always going too high, keeping it in low. Even if you miss this gap, you can still kind of sneak down the hill. This hole reminds me a lot of Daylaw. It goes quick on that right side if you get too much speed on the disc.
And around the green has a lot of erosion, so it is very fast.
Yeah.
You're right.
So my mistake, too high, get caught up. No 2-meter rule though. So not a horrible place to be, but I actually would like to kind of go down past it just a little bit and have that uphill putt back. These first few holes really set up great for a forehand shot. So Owen's going to just try to punch it in there. Gets caught up as well. Going to have a look.
Now, if you go, from this direction, if you go to the right of the basket down the hill, it's not a good thing. So you can overthrow this hole.
Absolutely. And at 235, it can happen very quickly.
Sarah looks like she's put herself inside the circle. She'll have a putt for birdie. See if Kristy Lee can get a putt.
Yeah,
like the turn
a
little
harder.
Early.
Kristy and I don't really have a forehand. She tries to bust out a few. I have to get one of them out there, but little touchier shot because when you're throwing a backhand turnover shot, they want to glide too far. So it's kind of a touchy shot to get the right distance on a few of these.
Kristy Lee with a 50-foot downhill putt for birdie.
Tries to give it a bid like it was an honest, great bid. Just catches that little bit of a tree.
Respect the courage.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't it cute?
Surprise.
Yeah, it's like Easter egg hunting up there. Tried to look at that way just because it's just a weird angle in, but just going to lay that up. Nothing too crazy on the first few holes.
Nice soft touch on that.
Owen wanted me to climb it.
Of course she did.
You see my thighs on? Like a branch is going to break. Yikes.
Oh, Jen.
There goes Owen.
Sneaking in that birdie putt. Left side, the spin made it stick. And her first birdie of the round. And Hokom
looked
the
solid.
Front of the cage.
Yeah, it looked really good. She gave it a strong bid.
It's not actually Hokom's normal putting shape. She has more of an apex, like a rainbow shape, and that was very angled down, nose down, direct, kind of the old school Hokom
I think
putt. Just
because wanting to not miss, right? Really trying to aim at that target because it's kind of a death putt, even though she's coming across at it. You hit and roll, it could be dangerous.
How is your putter release so powerful even as far out as 50 feet? A lot of the power on my putt is generated from like a little finger pop / wrist action at the very end. Hold a disc in your hand even when you're sitting down on a couch. You can kind of just pop it up. Try to pop the disc vertical. Do this and just slowly practice getting it higher, and you're just really trying to use your wrist, not really your arm. That's how I do it, and that's a tip to how you can do it too.
I'll take all the tips I can get. This is hole number 3, coming in at only 190 feet. It's a par 3 downhill. Got a lot of trees to miss on the way to get this birdie. I like to choose a gap that goes right where the drone is flying with a Champion Plastic Mako 3.
Oh, okay. I go a different route here. So I kind of love this style of hole. I think a forehand could come off clean with a great line. You could go the putter down the middle. I'm going to show you a sneaky hyzer route. So I like holes that give plenty of options. Let the player choose what's going to work best for them. Ohn snagging that big giant tree in the middle. So I'm going Toro, hyzer. There's a huge gap over here. I went just a little too strong with it and caught the back wall before it dives in. But even if you do that, it drops you down. So, but there's like 2 tiny branches over there that get in the way. Sarah going backhand.
Ooh, interesting.
Right? Isn't that pretty?
She would choose sort of a flex forehand.
I did too. Kristy going the hyzer route with me, I thought was perfect because she was a little softer than mine, but she catches up on just a little short.
This is a fun hole because there's so many routes to get there. It just so much creativity can happen. I love watching how everyone, finds their way to get a birdie.
Right.
Kristy's over here in Scrambleville at this point.
Yes. Did not really have much.
She gets up there. Ohn for birdie from outside the circle.
Gives it a good bid. Just right side of chains. Nice little backstop with the big tree back there. A lot of stuff on the ground out here. It's like fairyland. So I'm over here in the sticks. Just trying to slide it up there, but hit a little bit.
Rooted.
I got rooted. But it's fine.
Rude. And this is Hokom with a low ceiling birdie putt. Ooh, nice spin control, right height, just no connection for that one.
And I really love how so many of these basket placements, maybe because we've been playing so many Disc Golf Pro Tour events where you have elevated and death putts, like these baskets are nice and flat and really just let us attack them without a lot of fear. So
no birdies to be had here on the third. Hokom looking to make her par putt, and she does just that. It's such a shorty. I hate to let this one slip away. I mean, any hole under 200 feet feels like a must get, but it's guarded.
Yeah, very much so. And I think that with the first, 6 holes, I believe, lot of trouble. Here we have hole number 4. This is another 206 par 3. Definitely the left side is going to angle in a lot more to the basket. You do kind of follow that path there on the right. The sidewalk leads you right to the basket. No OB to be found, but just a lot of trees in the way. And with the distance and the sharp angle, a lot of these just set up great for a forehand. Like I said, it's real touchy backhand turnover shots to get a short distance like this.
Ohn taking the left forehand route sets up perfectly for this. Even though she rolls away, she is...
I did not realize she had such a bad roll. It looked perfect out of her hands. We thought she was going to ace it, so that explains why she got so far away.
Circle's edge putting for birdie. And what are you throwing for this turnover?
Mako. A little strong. Like I said, it's really hard to touch something soft and go so sharp to the right. So Makos have a lot of glide.
You forgot to put the Mirage in your bag, didn't you?
I had it and I didn't. I just don't throw it enough. But I did bring it because I figured we'd have a few of those holes.
Hokom gets caught up on the V tree.
Yes, we decided that if you come right between the V of that tree, you're going to ace.
And Kristy trying a forehand, and she gets caught up about halfway down the fairway. She's looking to scramble from par.
She told me she loves playing in the trees. So she did feel comfortable with a scramble game, and she enjoys, even though she doesn't really have a strong forehand, she enjoys the trees.
She looks comfortable with her scrambling.
Yeah, but just gotta love the old school vibe with a very small bag
Shoulder
and like
bag.
six Frisbees. I told her I'd caddy for her.
Ohn gets a birdie here on the 4th from about 40 feet, it looked like.
Yeah, at this point, like she's hitting them big. Like she's on. It's going to be an Ohn day for sure. She's owning us. just coming out hot with
Just
the putter.
like we saw on a previous hole, Hokom hits the front of the cage, doesn't put quite enough under that, and misses yet another opportunity. I mean, par is a mistake. It's not a bad mistake, but man, on these short holes at 206 feet, you need to get these birdies when it's right there.
We sure wanted to.
Hate to let that slip away.
We wanted to.
Let's check out hole 5, coming in at 285 feet. It's a par 3. You have a strong right turn. The main focus is to make it through this first gap, and right at this cluster of trees, you should start bending your disc slightly right. If you're not good at that shot shape, you can play a straight shot and then pitch over and play the hole for par. Also, a forehand would have an advantage here, as long as they're accurate.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many trees on this one. I get so frustrated with this hole because there's like 3 shots I could practice, and probably they might all fail, you know? But like, I went with a Roadrunner, trying to go low, attacking it, really just for that straight shot. But no, I hit the tree right there. Bad kick to the left. Hokom trying to get a better line on it, and you'll see so many discs hit this little cluster of trees right there at the bend.
You really need to start bending before that cluster of trees if you want to get up and inside the green.
It's a short distance to those. I think that's where we struggle. Like, it's just before you would naturally kind of bend the disc, and that's where I think, like you mentioned, the straight shot out it and then pitching over is almost the better line. I am deep in it.
I use a 12-year-old disc for that shot shape.
I pulled out a Stingray and practiced with it, but I'm shooting with my eyes closed. Like,
Jen
let's
and
be real.
Narnia over here.
Yes, but I found some beautiful little tiny hole and managed to work magic with my Mako.
Love it.
Yeah.
Mako your magic.
Yep.
I mean, that's literally stamped on my Mako, just to let y'all know. So
Such a great disc.
it really is. This is Ohn with her second shot.
And she's so accurate with that little short, quick forehand. I mean, it's amazing. I almost felt bad for Sarah going after, because I mean, Ohn's is just so strong, and Sarah didn't have quite that power. You could tell Sarah's really trying to be touchy with it, I think, because she's afraid. Her forehand's so strong, she was afraid to go long maybe. But she was just really soft. Her Ohn was so powerful with hers. And that was, I believe, her Calvin Destroyer. It wasn't even a Firebird that Ohn was throwing. So Ohn was not afraid of going long, and Hokom was. And I think that's kind of, you had to be powerful with it. This is where Kristy's drive was. So made it down there, but just in some rough stuff. Able to pitch out.
She's got a nice spin on her putt.
She does.
Okay.
Yep, kind of blind, just layup.
This is Ohn to save par.
Not a problem.
She's got a serious face on today. She's got those focus goggles on.
Yeah, she did. So that will be Sarah's double bogey, unfortunately, and I'm tapping out for my bogey. So I think one of the most difficult holes on the course. It's just a lot of trouble you can find.
Ever since I won Worlds, I had my goals set on another major win. There's no past and there's no future. It's only this moment here.
It's just beautiful to watch Kristy throw the disc. Outright brilliance from Kristy.
The winner of the 2023 PDGA Champions Cup, Kristy Tatar.
Hole number 6. This is a 493-foot par 3. Beautiful shot here. You can take the straight shot, try to hyzer it in, or a nice flex or a turnover shot through there on the left, landing anywhere around here. There's a couple of options to approach the basket. Hyzer little skip shot around, or trying to maybe a little forehand approach through that gap that the drone flew. I believe OB behind the basket, which is really going to happen unless you really juice one.
I feel like it's more advantageous to land on the right side of the fairway. It opens it up a little bit more, and that's kind of the main tree you're looking to get past to get a good long drive off the tee. And Ohn can still easily get par from there.
Yeah, definitely a 2-shot hole. This is actually a par 4. I kind of noticed like anything to the right of that big tree there in the middle gave a little bit more of an open approach. If we hyzered off to the left, it was a little more wooded, a little more difficult of a shot.
Yeah, more pinched off over to the left side.
I let that go a little high, catch a few branches, but get lucky to punch through most of it. That's just an old Wraith.
Good
Trying
distance
to really
on
S
that.
it out. Yeah.
Really makes the upshot so much easier.
Sarah, I think is getting great distance this week as well. I feel like her and Ohn have really gained a lot of distance this year. Backhand and forehand.
So this will be Ohn Scoggins' second shot. It's a low ceiling, and you need to get underneath that and skip it into the green.
Just like that.
Perfect.
Just like that.
And you see, that was a second shot, but Ohn did not use a mid-range, so don't be scared to use whatever disc gets the job done for you, even if your friends pick at you for it.
Yeah, and I felt like Kristy's line was perfect. Just needed that disc to be a little more stable and turn into the basket for a good distance, though. This was such a hard lie. She could literally barely get her foot behind the disc.
Whoa, did you see this shot? The wrist.
It was beautiful.
The wrist
Yeah.
movement on that alone just to make that shot happen was such an
Yeah,
elite level
and
shot.
accurate and went right where she needed it to go.
You got
Catch a
caught
little
up,
bit of a
you're
kick,
still
but not
putting.
bad. Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Sarah's shot as well. Just to even get into the position, honestly.
Kristy Lee looking for her par putt to drop. She doesn't quite connect. Hokom from about 20 for par. Actually for birdie, because we decided
Correct.
this was a par 4 actually.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
After that double before, that's got to feel good for Hokom to get that birdie.
absolutely. I believe there's 3 par 4s on this course for us.
All right, Kristy Lee gets a par, and Jen getting her birdie here on the 6th.
Ohn's incredible upshot's going to tap in that birdie as well.
It's
so.
just looking really serious out there, Jen. Was it tense? Was it serious? Was it early? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know.
It looks very serious.
Not our perky selves.
Yeah, here on hole 7, par 3, 372 feet. It bends slightly to the right. The basket is up to the right by these 2 big trees. Now, if you're not good at that shot shape, you can easily just throw straight and then have a short little upshot and play the hole for par. This is a very difficult hole to get a legitimate circle birdie putt. Ohn Scoggins up first. Now, I say that as a right-handed, backhanded player.
Right. The first time I played this course, I was very kind of discouraged because it was such a forehand or lefty dominant course. But after playing it, I really love this hole because I go straight. And I found that the left side of this green is so open. So I tried to turn it very little and just try to punch and get all the distance. And I really tried to do that with a lot of holes, and definitely made the course better for me because you have to make it your course, right? Like if it's not setting up for you, just kind of use your game and make it happen. Find some shots.
Find a way that you can score.
Right.
Kristy Lee with a nice hyzer flip.
Beautiful drive.
A little bit on the inside, but she misses all the trees. Great distance out of Lee.
Yeah, I think that's the first hole we've really seen her be able to open up to. So it's nice to see she has some distance. This is why I don't like the right side. There's just a lot more trees to kind of throw around. I kind of feel like it's more of a forehand approach.
I'm with you. I prefer, I tried to shape mine. I was coming up a little short because it's a low ceiling. I couldn't sky the Annie over there. So I just played the straight shot. It even hyzered a little left. And what do you know? It's perfectly open.
It's great over there.
Zero trees in the upshot.
Right. And
Look
that
how
you
far
could-
Kristy made it.
And I was
She
going to say, you
way
could
up
see
there.
that great openness. I'm actually pin high, so definitely wide open for me. I tried too hard to give it a bid and really it was a little uphill for me and pretty far. So I think I just was trying to make sure to get it up there and kind of blew past it a little bit. But would have loved to. That's the cleanest look I've had at that hole.
Hokom with a nice long putt for par here on the 7th. You've got about 15 feet, no problem. Jams that one in there. I like that.
I wish they'd go in like that from 30. That's what I'm working on.
You got it.
Baby steps,
You
baby
got it.
steps. I felt like every putt today was 15 or 35 or 40. Sometimes the distances on courses it's weird how they just fit to some people more than others.
Kristy Lee captures her par putt with ease, and everyone is on to the 8th.
Hole number 8, 336-foot par 3. You can take this gap straight down the middle. Very difficult shot, or a lot of open space here on the right side to try to throw in a big hyzer shot, sneaking it in front of or behind that bushy tree on the right side. No OB really to speak of around on several of these holes, so that's kind of nice, just being able to throw and attack it as aggressively as possible.
Scoggins up first, taking the right side hyzer route.
Huge.
She can
Like
make
when
it
she let
past
that
this-
go, I was like,
Okay.
wow. Huge distance. I
If you
felt like.
hyzer in front of that bush, you usually land right at the circle's edge short. I feel like to get in the circle, you need to go around that bush.
That was the way I like to go, and I just cut mine in a little bit early, and I hit this magical branch that I did not even
Didn't
see.
even see that one.
But it's strong. It's little, but it was mighty. Knocked me straight down.
This would be a really crazy forehand for Sarah. I'd really admire her choosing the backhand.
And look
on
how
this.
beautiful it was, and went to that backside. So big distance.
Wow,
I mean,
Sarah.
this is a long hole. I feel like it kind of plays a little longer than 336.
It does. I wanted to say maybe 346
Mhm,
even.
mhm. Yeah, the first time I threw it, I almost even thought, man, maybe I can't reach this one for a birdie, but we can.
That's cute. You're so cute. With your putter, you mean?
No, I really did it the very first time. Maybe I was tired.
Yeah, that's probably it. Look at that.
Trying. I think I was like right at about 180, and that's
Okay.
really pushing my distance with my putter. And that's when I'm comfortable with throwing the forehand. So,
It looks so good.
yeah, maybe I'll get confident enough to jump up to mid. Out of the hand, we were really pushing that distance of like too close to throw a real backhand, but not too, strange positions to really kind of approach is hard, I think, for everyone's game.
Oh, Hokom hitting the front of the cage on a birdie attempt.
Way out, 65 or so.
This is Ohn Scoggins for birdie. Oh, smashes one in there.
She's on a mission. Like,
Yeah,
she's
this is,
just on a mission.
This
like,
is a working woman's card.
look at her. She's like blowing the fire and
She
smoke
is.
off her fingers.
Ohn always says there's a time for fun and a time for serious, and today she's got her serious face
Yes, she
on.
did. These brand new baskets out here. It's so fun to play on. Yeah, left that one just a little soft, so it started to hyzer out before I wanted it to. I had the height, just hyzered out a little too quick. Again, that circle edge. I'll get it one day.
Hokom taps in for par. How is the cart on this course?
Good, 2 holes.
These new PDGA commercials are incredible. Welcome back. Here we are, hole 9, 259 feet. It plays a little longer because it's slightly uphill. Par 3, extremely wooded. Look at this beauty. I love how there's so many different shapes and shots to get up to the green. I prefer to go a route different than the drone is flying. I choose a right side hyzer route, swing it in, and hopefully get on these wood chips for a birdie putt. Ohn Scoggins up first. Taking that right side route that I prefer. Getting a little caught up, but
Yeah, just a little short, and that's her destroyer. And I honestly, I don't think I really even looked at the distance on this, and it does make it feel wrong. I go T-bird even. Like, I think I would have to really force a mid up this hill. It's just really drastic distance at the end there. And to hit that line through all these trees, I feel like the fairway driver's a little easier to force up there. But yes, you can see both ways would work. Maybe a little more open or easier to hit the line or hold the line on that right side. I get a pretty actually big skip there to the left.
Kristy Lee got caught up, so she's looking to scramble for par. I'd say she's still about 190 feet out, and unfortunately gets caught up again. Now looking to save a bogey.
Great line that time.
Oh, she's up on the green. She
Yeah.
has a short putt. Hopefully save bogey and move on. This is Scoggins for birdie from about 30.
I thought it was in. It looks so good. Even watching it there, it still looked good.
There's
She
a
thought
smile.
it was in.
I feel like that's the first smile of the front 9 from Ohn Scoggins on camera, at least.
I'm literally just trying to aim for wood chips there. Like,
Okay.
I could not really even get a line to the basket. I was actually thankful they put wood chips when I was looking at that, because sometimes on these drastic hills you can really get a roll away.
Hokom canning her uphill birdie putt here on hole 9 with the CTP of the group and the only birdie of the group.
Yeah, it was such a big putt. Drastic uphill incline.
I always feel like after a bogey and I get a birdie, I'm like, I've erased the bogey now.
Yes.
All is right in the world. Kristy Lee taking a bogey here on the 9th. Jen will get a par.
Just like that, 9 holes. Halfway through the second round.
Loving this Dexter course. Let's check out the front 9. A lot of birdies from Ohn and no bogeys. You could see a couple of bogeys from the other card mates, but Ohn has taken the lead after the front 9. If you've never played this course here at Dexter, I highly recommend it. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the round 2 front 9 coverage of the Tim Selinske U.S. Masters Disc Golf Championship.